What's going on, everyone? John here, the Wolf of Ecom, and I've got something really important to share with you in this video. I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips for what to do, not if, but when you run into issues with Facebook, whether it be a restricted profile from advertising or even a banned business manager or ad account. Before I go through my top tips after spending a lot of money trying to figure this stuff out, testing my own methods and tips that others have given me as well, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you get something from it. Feel free to ask questions in the comment below. And as always, I've put together a free guide that's absolutely going to help you with this. It's going to show you the overview of my process. I call it the Bulletproof Facebook System. You can check that out in the link in the description of this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Now let's dive into my computer here, and you're going to see that this is what pretty much everyone is facing if you go into any free Facebook group, if you go into the Verum's free Facebook group, if you go into the Ecom Empires, if you go even into the Tam Brothers Facebook group, free Facebook groups, you're going to see almost every single person is talking about how they're restricted from advertising, they're getting disabled, they're banned, they don't know what to do, they're screwed, right? And a lot of people are, because A, they're going to quit because they're quitters in a week, which is fine. That's less competition for you and me if, you know, we are focused on actually making this business work. And it is a differentiator in the sense that it's something that if you have this process in place that I do, that helps me prepare another 50 to 100 profiles at any given time, so I never have to worry about getting shut down permanently, well, then you're in luck, because that is what's going to separate you as well from the competition. That's your differentiator, right? So let's look at what is the most typical scenarios, okay? So my friend Jason here, he is restricted, right? So when he goes into his actual ad account, he can't do anything. It just says you are restricted from advertising. And unfortunately for Jason, it's a permanent decision, right? So it should say permanent here. It is permanent because we've appealed it with this fancy little new form. This is a new thing. It used to require you to submit an ID. Now it's just outright banning you depending how you get banned. There's a number of ways this could happen. But yeah, so you just fill out this form and basically nothing happens, or sometimes it does. But I would bank on it not happening. I would bank on not getting the profile back, which is why it's so important that you have a process and a system in place that helps you prepare for this. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 10 profiles get hit over the course of a few months, that you're not dead in the water, that your sales go from $5,000, $10,000 a day down to 0 overnight, because that is not fun. Okay, so let's now look at the other scenario. Other scenario is your business is actually disabled. So in this specific case, the profile is not restricted, but the business manager can't be used to do anything. So if I go into the ad accounts here, ad accounts disabled or disabled and can't be, right? So this thing's dead. It's worthless, okay? And unless your business manager is verified, you can't even appeal it, right? So the verification is a whole nother piece that I teach in the Bulletproof Facebook program that I run. And it is a little bit tricky to get business managers verified, even if you have your own business documents and you have a proof of phone number and all those fun things that they're asking for. It may just not do anything, okay? It is very typical and normal for it to sit in process for 2 to 4 weeks minimum before you suddenly wake up one day and you have a verification, okay? So I've verified probably over 50 business managers just in the last few months, and I've seen all sorts of inconsistencies in what responses they give you when you submit your documents. And yeah, it's a mess, okay? So I hope Facebook fixes this, but in the meantime, I wanted to share with you my 5 top tips that are gonna help you do something cool like this, where maybe you have, you know, got 91 profiles here, right? So we're not all profiles, but browser sessions ready to be loaded up with profiles. Okay, this is basically what you need to do, for better or worse today, if you want to just be able to advertise, especially if you are in drop shipping and you don't already have an established brand coming into this year that's been running Facebook ads. Even let's say you have a new brand and you try to run ads, you will have these same problems. It does not matter. This is not a good or bad, you know, business practices, right? This is Facebook being out of their mind, and we need to find solutions. So here are your solutions. I've spent over $20,000 of my own money testing methods and processes to really streamline this and optimize it so that anyone can do it. Doesn't make it easy, but anyone can do it, and that it can be repeatable, because that's what matters, okay? Because Facebook could change, and probably will change again at some point, and I don't want to be the one left holding the bag that can't run ads and they're out of business again overnight, okay? So I've been there too many times. times, and I'm not gonna let it happen again. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get more profiles. Best place to get more profiles is gonna be obviously friends and family, maybe coworkers if they're willing to lend you or give you their Facebook profile. You actually don't need this profile to really so much do, if it's a real profile, you don't need it so much to do Facebook things. You need it just to access the business manager and the ad account, okay? So not to go super deep, super in depth about what to do with the profile itself, but just know that you just need it to advertise. That is it. So a lot of people probably in your inner circle are going to be a little bit weirded out when you ask them if, hey, can I use your Facebook profile? Most people are not going to be cool with it. So just ask people you trust. Now, the second thing you could also do as part of step one, my number one tip, is to buy farmed accounts. These are not real Facebook profiles, but they have been created at some point in the past and they're aged, right? So a great place to go is like fbsmash.com. You get them as little as $8 per profile. Now, just know that this is not going to solve everything, okay? You could even get Multilogin, the same software I use. You could set up a bunch of proxies, which you absolutely should do. But the difference is it's not going to make your problems go away. You need a process, a step-by-step process in how to manage a profile from the minute you get it to the second that it's advertising. And it could take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks at minimum, up to 2 to 4 weeks, depending how you manage it, depending how sensitive Facebook's being. It could be a lot of factors. And this is really what I spent countless hours and dollars developing step by step so that I know that myself and my team can repeat this process over and over again and not get triggered, right? So a lot of it comes down to, what steps you're taking at any given moment. Are you taking multiple actions in the same day that are, let's say, admin actions, as I like to call them, such as inviting an admin to the business manager, such as adding a payment method, such as running high budget conversion campaigns on day one. All these things can absolutely, if you stack them together or do them in the wrong order at the wrong time, they can absolutely trigger everything. And then suddenly you wake up, or minutes later you see that your profile is restricted from advertising, or your business manager is banned with ad accounts as well, or all of the above, because I've seen that happen plenty of times too. Or maybe the profile just gets outright locked down and you can't even use it anymore. That is not fun. So trust me, you need a process in place. We have one in our Bulletproof program for our paying members, obviously, but you can obviously figure out a method yourself if you want to test and trial and error, okay? Start with my Bulletproof Facebook program guide that's below this video. It's going to give you an overview of exactly what you need to do, whether you do it yourself or you do it with us, doesn't matter to me. The second thing is, that's the second thing, is having a standard process that you can repeat and you can manage. The third thing is that once you do get the profile established with something like this, like Multilogin is what I recommend over Incognition, which yes is free. I don't think you need it. I think this is the best option, okay? Now with Multilogin, you will plug in what are called proxies. I use a simple source called My Private Proxy, okay? And then I would just go to private proxies, and I would usually get at least 50, but let's say I just got one for now. Don't get one, you're gonna need more. And then use case is gonna be Facebook, okay? You'll get the proxy information after you make your purchase, and then you'll create a actual browser session. You can see how I do this in another video. It may be in one of these top corners here. I'm not the YouTube editor here, so I don't know exactly what screen. If not, I'll link it in the description so you'll know exactly how to see my Multilogin setup steps and other videos about this as well, okay? Now, so at this point you have your profiles, you have something like Multilogin, you have a mix of profiles from friends and family, and then maybe some from FB Smash or other websites where you can buy it as well. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna start running engagement, okay? This is after you complete your warm-up process. This is after you have established a profile. It's not getting triggered just from logging in and getting locked out permanently, right? So this is gonna take, I'd say, at least a week if you wanna be safe. If you wanna be safer, take a longer time. If you're in an urgent rush, you could always go sooner. And then you wanna start running some page post engagement, boosted posts, okay? Very simple, let it run for a few days. Once the billing cycle hits, then you can jump into conversions. Now, I don't recommend you go crazy and you start running you know, $500 a day conversions, and you're actually not going to be able to. You need to have a verified business manager. The reason why is because if a couple reasons. Well, if you run your ads to start with a new profile, especially with the unverified business manager, you are more likely to see things suddenly get disabled for nothing. And if they do get disabled, you can't even appeal it, right? So it like really just kills the whole thing. When you have a verified business manager, I see that they kind of pick on you less, like they target a little bit less more, or a little bit less. And also, if you do get your business manager disabled, or you know whatever happens, you can actually submit an appeal. It doesn't guarantee you get the business manager back, but it's just like a little bit of an extra layer of protection, right? So part of my process is pretty much every business manager we make, I probably have 100 to 150 at this point. We submit every single one of them through a verification process. There's a little bit of a hack that I found that will show you how to get things verified. It's tricky, it's a little bit intricate, so I don't share that with everyone, because I know as soon as I share that hack, everyone's going to use it and then it's going to stop working. So just full disclosure, but submitting your business, your documents, and doing the right way will absolutely work. Just know that, okay? So like this profile, for example, has business Chris BM1, 5 ad accounts, was just verified a little bit over a month ago. Jack BM2 was verified like 3 weeks ago. All right, and then Jack BM1 verified 3 weeks ago, same day. So this is basically setting me up for a little bit of protection, okay? And also the other really cool part of it too is if you try to run off of an unverified business manager, unless you got super lucky, sometimes you do get lucky, but I wouldn't bank on luck with this. I'd rather drive a process like I'm showing you. You're gonna find that with the verified business manager, you could spend $250 or more, usually $250 a day, sometimes more, but it starts you at $250, which is really cool, and that should lift after a couple of billing cycles hit. And yeah, so you could actually start scaling on a single ad account, okay? Now, here's the last piece, is you really do need a software. Let me close this out real quick. Like Multilogin, that you can manage literally as many profiles as you want, and then you need to have a process in place that warms them up without hiccups, without headaches, that doesn't get things triggered along the way. So you basically have an end result of, I'd recommend at least 10 rock solid profiles that have history, that have been established, that you can spend without having to worry you get shut down, okay? And there's obviously other pieces to this. This is more of like a short-term startup, but this sets you up for a long-term position in e-commerce, in Facebook ads, and dropshipping. Doesn't matter if you're running an agency, doesn't matter if you're doing Black Hat affiliate, it doesn't matter if you're running your own e-com brand or a dropshipping business. Everyone is getting affected by this right now, and I feel like I'm the only one talking about it. I'm the only one not just trying to sell you some agency account that's going to charge you a percentage on top of your ad spend, okay? Agency accounts can be great, it just gets expensive, right? So if you know how to control your ad accounts and your business managers and your profiles in a process like this, it will literally change your business and you'll take back control, and Facebook won't be able to push you around whenever they feel like suddenly banning you for absolutely nothing. So hope this video helps. Hope this gives you a great overview. Make sure to check out my free guide that you're gonna see at the bottom of this video, and it will absolutely show you everything you need to do to get this system in place for yourself, whether you wanna do it yourself or you wanna do it with us, all right? Until next time, I'll see you in our next video.